Hi, my name is Mattias Jõesaar and I'm going to tell you about the University of Tartu and its international master's programs in social sciences and humanities. But first, a little overview of our little town called Tartu. This is the view over Tartu. This is how it looks like from up on the air. And this is some key facts about our little town. So Tartu is the second largest town in Estonia. Its population is about 100,000. And why it is a student capital of Estonia is by the fact that 1/5 of the population are students. So about 20,000 students in a town of 100,000. It is known as the intellectual capital of Estonia and the city of youth, and all because of the same reason. It's the student capital of Estonia, and there are so many students here. But it's not only a place to study. It's also has quite a lot of successful IT companies that are located here because of all the science and research that is made here. So the students also, if they find some kind of a practical way of doing some internship there, it's possible to do in companies, maybe like Playtech, Zero Turnaround, Munkaskeid, Nortal. So it's not only a place for studying. So why is it the student capital of Estonia? Well, I can say that it's the main reason is the University of Tartu, which main building is located in the heart of town. So University of Tartu itself is the oldest and largest university in Estonia. It is the largest, it's the public, it is the national university of Estonia. And it was established in 1632 by the Swedish king called Gustav II Adolf. It is also, right now, it is the most highest ranking university in the Baltic states. It is the only university in Estonia that belongs to the top 2% of world's best universities by different rankings. But University of Tartu is not only located in Tartu. It has colleges all around Estonia, in places like Tallinn, where we have our Department of Law. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it later. Pärnu, we have also a college. Also, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later. Narva, which has like the public administration and education studies there, some of it. And Viljandi, which is our College of Culture, is located over there. The university has 4 faculties. We have about 14,000 students. And of these 14,000 students, almost 10% are international students, so like 1,300 international students as well. University of Tartu has the largest library in the whole of the country. It contains more than 4.1 million items. Also, the University of Tartu has one of the largest clinics in Estonia, called the University of Tartu Clinic. It has various museums and also a botanical garden located in the heart of Tartu. And also we also have a Nobel Prize won in more than 100 years ago. But it's not only old, it also has some really modern buildings, such as our physics building. Our medicine building is quite a new one. But also, older things are also there. This is our University of Tartu Museum in the historical center. And this is a picture of our botanical garden, also a very nice place located in the middle of Tartu. But if you would like to get a glimpse and just kind of browse around Tartu and Viljandi and Pärnu and Tallinn, you can go to virtualtour.ut.ee. There you can see all of our buildings, from dormitories to main buildings. You can read about the history. You can see what kind of research is done over there, where are the study buildings and so on. These go all over town because Tartu kind of works as our campus. So we have buildings all across the town. So I mentioned before that it is the top 1 university in the Baltic states. Yes, it's true. It is by these top rankings that the world is using, Times Higher Education World University Rankings and QS World University Rankings. They place us pretty much in the same place, around the place 350 in the world, which makes it about the top 2% of world's best universities. Now, subject-wise, in communications and media studies, we are even higher up there. Same goes with linguistics. But also literature and language is quite even higher than the average university one. Also medicine. So, who are these international students that I mentioned? 1,300 of them. Well, most of them come from our nearby countries, such as Finland. Finnish students tend to study medicine the most, and that's why there are so many of them. But also we have students coming from Russia, Ukraine, a little further away from India, but also some of our really close, very friendly countries such as Georgia and Latvia, and also some a little bit further away from the USA and Turkey. So, and then China and Germany also make it to the top 10. So, but I think everybody would like to know what kind of stuff do we teach there at the University of Tartu. So we have quite a few of these master's programs in social sciences, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about. Now, we have these programs all here cost 3,400 euros per year. And there are tuition waiver scholarships available to most students. In some cases, like IT law, it's all students get tuition waiver scholarships. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them. So, democracy and governance. This is our sort of a political science program that views like electoral behavior, democracy, different organizations. It has a little bit of public administration as well, but it's different from maybe some other political science programs taught across the world, because it also has courses on online voting and e-governance that Estonia is kind of very high up there. It's sort of a forerunner in that field, e-governance and online voting. So this is a program that really takes a look into that, like electoral behavior and so on. We accept about 15 students every year, and 10 of them will get tuition waiver scholarships. So another thing of the from the political science is the European Union Russia studies. Now this is more into international relations, but it focuses on exactly what it says, European Union and Russia. It has the multidisciplinary kind of approach, so it takes the history, it takes the politics, it takes the regional politics and so on. What does the relations between European Union and Russia do? How does it influence the countries, in between, the specific countries and so on, which Estonia is a great place to study because we are on the border of European Union and Russia. So, and also there are tuition waiver scholarships to best applicants available. But right now, this IT law program, this is a one-year program. So there are most of them, others are two-year programs. This is a one-year program. This is a very unique program, I think, at least in the Northern European region. But to apply to this program, you would need to have at least a four-year bachelor's degree or already a master's degree in law. And there will be one-year studies of case-by-case studies, how that implies to IT and so on. So the lawyers actually can have a little glimpse of programming. They will understand what programming is. They have a little course on that. But mostly it's about data protection and how this data protection can be done online. And there are many case studies, how this has been implemented and how it should be implemented. And how does the law thing work in our daily lives in this information era? So all of these, we take 20 students there, and all of them will receive tuition waiver scholarships. Now, next program is International Relations and Regional Studies. It's another international relations program, but it's a little bit different from the European Union Russia studies because it's more comprehensive. It doesn't only look into European-Russia relations. It goes a little bit wider. It has the regional studies, geopolitics, and so on. So it's more comprehensive. It's more wider-ranging. So the European Union-Russia studies goes kind of more deep into a certain field. And international relations goes a little bit wider. So there are also, most of the students get automatically tuition waiver scholarships. Otherwise, the price is 3,400. But now we have this brand new program that is opened in 2017. The admission will be available in 2017. Is educational technology. So this is another one-year program that we offer. But this is a different kind of program. This is different because it is meant for people who are also already working in the education sector, either in universities as teachers or as lecturers, or schools as teachers, or other educational workers. So we would actually require a 2-year work experience in schools or at a university. But the people who are studying that, they can actually study it in their own home countries. There are 2 seminars. One take place in August in Tartu, and another one, you should come actually to Tartu, is in the end of May. But the rest of the program is actually conducted online. The gains are, what are the gains? Pretty much you can make your teaching, your educational, everything, your work, you can make it more effective. There are so many new infotechnological features that can be used in education. There are also new technologies, pretty much like educational technologies that are new, have maybe never been tried out in a wide range, but it sort of gives you an insight how to make teaching and education more effective. So this is and it also has tuition waiver scholarships. Now another program is more into economics. This is for more of those people who like mathematics more, but it gives you a degree in social sciences. It's Quantitative Economics, which is mostly concentrated on macro and microeconomics, these theories and so on. But it also gives a practical value how you can use it. So it trains analysts to work in financial sector, in banks and so on, who will predict and forecast different things that happens in economy and so on. It has quite a wide range of these tuition waiver scholarships. Nearly all of the students can be studying for free, and it's a regular 2-year economics program. Now, as I mentioned before, we have some new programs, and the last one is also a new program opened in 2017, Innovation and Technology Management. This could be maybe placed under the Science and Technology and IT courses, but actually the degree there will be a degree in social sciences. So basically, people who have been working in management or business, but also in IT sector as programmers, but are more interested in the management side of the whole thing. How to build a new IT solution and make it competitive on a market, how you can manage your IT company and so on. That can be taught over there. You would need a bachelor's degree in either management or IT. But if you have been working for 5 years in the same sector in IT management field, you can actually, this previous studies can be waived. So you can come and study a master's degree with the 5 years of experience, also working experience. So it's a brand new program and gives you a way to make maybe a startup company more successful in a market. Now, we have another program which costs a little bit less, 3,300 euros, and also has tuition waiver scholarships, is Wellness and Spa Service Design and Management. Now, this is one of these programs that we are teaching in one of our colleges. This is taught in our Pärnu college. Pärnu is a sort of a coastal town in Estonia, which is very well known for its hospitality, very well known of its hostels and spas, and there are so many tourists coming in every summer, it's crazy. And pretty much that is the program all about. It's about the spa service and design. Students have a chance to do internship. This internship can be done abroad. Actually, in some cases, it's even advised to do that abroad in the student's home country or somewhere else. But it gives also from everything from the spa services to management to marketing to accounting. That is a sort of a business administration, but in a specified field, which is sort of like spa service and wellness and hospitality. Now, we do have one program which we do not offer any scholarships, but then again, the price is not so high. This is the International Law and Human Rights program, which is also taught not in Tartu, but in Tallinn. As I mentioned before, the University of Tartu has a Department of Law in Tallinn, and that is exactly where this program takes place. So international law and human rights, I think the clue is in the title, what you're going to study there. There will be a lot of these international experts and lawyers who are practicing, coming to tell you about these things. There will also be internship available either in international law or human rights. So you can pretty much choose your specialization, which is more interesting to you. If you would like to know more about these programs, I can just advise you to go to this ut.ee/masters, and all the programs are listed over there, and you can click on them and see what are the application requirements and read a little bit more about in depth what these programs mean. But let's go further with humanities people, something for humanities people. There are not so many of them as we have social sciences, but we do offer also 3,400 euros a year tuition waiver scholarships available to programs like philosophy. I don't think philosophy needs much more explaining. It might be very short the description or very long description. But anyway, students will have some sort of practical value studying philosophy as well, because all students will be put in some sort of research groups, and there are also a lot of these practical things like conferences and so on, how to organize them, and research groups. So it won't be just very dry lectures on like Aristotle or some of these other great philosophers. Also tuition waiver scholarships available to most students. Same goes to our semiotics program, which actually University of Tartu is very well known for. So semiotics, what does it actually mean? It is a science of sign processes or semiosis. And University of Tartu in the 1960s was one of the main centers of this study, because we have this great scholar called Jüri Lotman, who was establishing the Tartu-Moscow School of semiotics, cultural semiotics. So University of Tartu is one of the few places actually in the world where you can study semiotics both in master's level and also PhD level. So we kind of take these semiotics things very, very seriously, because in the past and actually right now as well, University of Tartu has been one of the key places where you can actually study this thing. And also new programs, folklore and heritage studies. This is a brand new program, also tuition waiver scholarships available. This program gives you an insight how the heritage production works in today's contemporary world, where everything is getting more diverse, and how this tradition is created, and how you can be a mediator between different groups, or how to work on this folklore and heritage, and how they're created, how they are surviving in today's world, and so on. So this is also quite important in today's world. And the last program is a little bit cheaper one, but also has tuition waiver scholarships available, which is European Languages and Cultures. But I think the clue is in the title, and that's pretty much what it is all about. So also, same website, go to ut.ee/masters, and you can find all these programs and just click on them and just see what it's all about. This is also a brand new program, so you can check that out. Admission. Admission in the University of Tartu starts usually in the beginning of January. So, and the deadline for our master's programs is the middle of March. In 2017, the deadline is March 15th. So, and the results will be given in mid-May. There is online application which is used by most of the Estonian universities, and University of Tartu is doing the same thing. It's no different. You would need to just scan your own documents, send them to this online application system, write a motivation letter to most of these studies, and just scan them in, official copies and translation of your official copy of documents, and just send them to us. So once we have selected the students we are going to admit, Then after that, we are going to send them the letter, the invitation letter, and only after that you would need to send the documents physically to us by mail, not before. There is no application fee. You can apply to different programs at the same time. Just make sure you don't use the same motivation letter because they don't really like that, and that will really lower your chances to get in. But it's also the application system is pretty easy. Everything can be done online. And you are thinking, okay, right now, wait a second, I don't have my last documents because I received them in the summertime and your deadline is March 15, what's going on? Well, you can also apply with your most recent study results, and once you get your final documents, you can just send them later. So there's no problem. So I also mentioned some tuition waiver scholarship for all programs. Some of our programs, or mentioned before, have some additional scholarships. For example, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs scholarship is for Estonia's Eastern Partnership countries, such as Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia, Ukraine, Moldova, Belarus, and so on. So these countries do have additional scholarships in some programs, so they can receive some monthly stipends in addition to maybe the tuition waiver scholarship. So it makes them much easier to study here. And there are also other scholarships available by the Estonian government. Some of them require you to do some work towards like the research of Estonian culture and so on. But you can check them out both also on the studyinestonia.ee website and also University of Tartu website. So you can they are kind of easy to reach. But the main scholarships are tuition waiver scholarships for nearly all programs. And there, you don't really need to do anything extra. The best applicants in the list will be automatically given those scholarships. So what's going to happen when you're not studying? Well, University of Tartu has 4 centuries of student life. We have Erasmus student network that is organizing lots of different festivities, parties throughout the year. But we have these 2 peak times when we are having these autumn and spring student days in Tartu with weeks of different competitions, fun events, everything for every taste, like from sports to become a commentator competitions, boat rides on a river, pretty much everything, and a huge song festival also in Tartu. For one night, the mayor of Tartu is actually giving the power to the students. For one night, he takes it back in the morning though, but there is for one night during the Walpurgis night, the actual power will be given to the students to use it responsibly or not so responsibly during the night, having some parties. But of course, if you come here and you find it a little bit difficult to settle in, we also have tutors who are local students helping you out with any question you would like. So every group is given a tutor and they can just tell you where things are, where is the police or something like that, or immigration office, or where is the clinic, where are the main shops, what's the best food to eat, and so on. So you get all this information. And we also have international student coordinators who will give you all the insight of different documents you have to do for the university and so on, and also help you out if you encounter any problems, living somewhere or anything really. So I also already mentioned the Erasmus student networks, but there are also some area specific different organizations such as Idea Lab for those interested in creating some new ideas, trying to find some entrepreneurial way to actually start making some money or something like that, find some new ideas. There are marketing clubs for those who are studying economics or business. So there are pretty much very wide variety of different kind of clubs where you can do some extracurricular work to you complement something to your studies. Also, we have the UT Sports Club, where you can do sports for very reasonable price. And there are also all sorts of student discounts in Tartu. Here you can see some of the pictures from our student days in spring. This is the boat ride and that sort of competition. This is the ESN party, pool party. And these are the international students ambassadors who also do kind of a lot of different events. And they also do some charity work. And this was a really fun event called Bachelor's Auction. And there are many other similar things like karaoke nights and everything happening in Tartu. Here you can also see some of the stuff from the student days. You can see all the crowd, you know, beside the river, and just there is this competition where you have to build a very silly thing to jump into the river. And these things also happen every spring. But a little bit more about accommodation. Where are you actually living during a student life? So this is the main building for our international students. It's located about 5-minute walk from the town hall square. And it's maybe the cheapest way to live in Tartu. It's up to 120 euros a month. There are 2 people sharing a room and 6 people sharing the apartment. So the apartment shares the kitchen and the bathroom, and the room is shared by 2 people. So you have everything from Wi-Fi to parking to also to laundry. Now, international student ambassadors, please go to this website, isa.ut.de. There you can see the students, they have their own profiles. If some of them, they are coming from all over the world. So if some of them are coming from your country and you would like to know more about how does your own culture fit into the Estonian culture, or what kind of stuff did they have to do extra, or how did they first feel when they came to Tartu, you can just go and write them, because they would be happy to answer to any of your questions. So isa.ut.de, and you can find these people from there. But anyways, if you have any more questions about these study programs or life in Tartu, just please write to studyinfo@ut.ee, and we will be very glad to answer any of your questions to make your way to Tartu much more smoother. So thank you and good luck.